What's up guys, Jake here, out today catching bait. I know I made one bait video before, but it is kind of one-dimensional, just focused on catching bait in the Skyway in the winter when it's cold. And there's a lot of different ways that we catch bait. I know that you probably noticed from a lot of our videos, if you've watched them, that we fish primarily with white bait. We like to use artificials when we can, but the bite is just way hotter in Tampa Bay with white bait when you can get it, so we try to make that a priority. So today, catching some bait. I've got Ben and Pat that are gonna be fishing tomorrow, and I'm gonna be leaving town, but I like to think of myself as a good friend. So I'm gonna go load the bait pen with a bunch of bait today, so they can just show up in the morning and get to fishing. So I'm out here. There's two different reel styles that we do for catching bait when it's on the flats. So you can either chum it up with the chum that we used in the last video, which is menhaden oil and Purina fish food, or you can chase it down. So you can drive around, look for it, and when you see it, throw on it. Usually, chumming for bait's better in low light conditions. First hour of the day, last hour of the day. That's when you can really chum it up. In the middle of the day, I just like driving around the flats, looking for it. When you see flashes or you see a school of bait running together, throw on it. It's a lot more fun, fast-paced style of catching bait. So that's what I'm doing today, shotgun style. Driving around Coquina Flat looking for bait. So hopefully I'll get a little bit of video of that. I'm throwing a 10-foot Barracuda cast net, 3/8 inch mesh. But I think it's 1.25 pounds per foot. And throw it with the wind. That'll help you a lot. So it's a pretty windy day today, about 12 to 15. I'm just going downwind on my drifts, looking for flashes, pods of bait together, and then throwing the net, letting the wind open it up. And hopefully we can fill up these bait wells and fill up the bait pen for Pat and Ben to get after it tomorrow. All right. What we're looking for. Woo, baby! Tell you what, I came out here to get bait for Pat and Ben, but if I fill up these wells and I still have some sunlight, I might have to do some fishing. I don't know. It's the beautiful thing about May, when the days start to get longer, you get off work, get some time to still get out there. So we're gonna go now with the wind, just kind of cruise down the flats. I was using the motor originally, but yeah, I'm out here alone, so I was having to jump off after I threw the net, hit the motor into neutral, and I didn't want to run over a net. So I'm gonna use the trolling motor now, and just kind of troll across this flat, looking for flashes or looking for groups of bait. If you just see flashes, you have to trust your eyes and throw on it, because a lot of times, especially these bigger greenbacks, they're down in the grass and you can't see their back swimming along. You just see a flash when they turn sideways with the sun dancing off their side every now and then. So if you see a flash, you gotta trust your eyes and just throw on it. That's what I did with my last throw. I just saw one little flash and I decided, heck, let's throw on it, and it was those really big greenbacks. So you get an eye for it after a little while. We'll see what we can do. See if we can find some more of those big ones. There they are. We'll see what we get here. That time I saw a group of fish swimming, not just the flashes. So I think these are probably kind of the average size ones, but there was a lot of them. So when you see them swimming like that, you gotta take your opportunity to throw on them. Ooh, we got a good mix. Got some fat ones, some regular sized ones. It's a good toss there. Another Christmas tree net. That's what we call them when they light up on the way in, like a Christmas tree. And when you're going fishing that day, it feels like Christmas morning. All right, so I'm not gonna try to reinvent the wheel here. There's a bunch of different ways to throw a cast net. Almost all of them work. The most important thing is that you're kind of loaded in 3 places when you throw it. There's a million YouTube videos out there that show good ways to throw it. I'll show you the way I throw it. It works well for me. Basically, I'm just gonna take one edge that's closest to me to start out with and throw that over my shoulder. That's gonna be kind of my lagging edge at the end of the cast. Then I'm gonna take about half the net and just throw it over my right leg. This kind of enables me to make sure that the net isn't all tangled up. So if I'm starting to throw it over my waist and I see this, I know I got bigger problems and I'm not ready to throw this net yet. So that's when you want to take the net and just shake it out. That way, wherever the braille line is tangled up on itself, you kind of get that cleared out. So see, now the net's moving a little bit more freely. So throwing it over my leg like that enables me to just see when I have problems like that, where the net's hanging up. So I got about half the net over my right leg. The other half's kind of hanging here, about waist height, maybe a little bit less than waist height. When I grab this this front edge with my right hand, basically I'm using 3 fingers between my pointer finger to grab the bulk of the net. And then I'm grabbing just this line that's running between my shoulder and the start of this bulk right here, grabbing that with my pointer finger and my thumb. So I'm grabbing this, and then I'm grabbing the rest with my other 3 fingers. I'm holding on to it as one unit, but when I throw it, I'm gonna let go of the bulk of this, but I'm gonna hold on with my thumb and my index finger a little bit longer. That allows the back half of the net to open up. So you're throwing this front edge out. If you're looking at your pancake throw like a clock, this front edge is gonna go between noon and 4 o'clock. This back edge is gonna go between like 8 and noon. So you're gonna kind of get the front part of that clock opened up. And then this part of my shoulder and the part I'm holding in my finger are gonna be the bottom part of that clock, kind of the 4 to 8 third of it, okay? So when you throw it, you wanna get some rotational movement lined up. So you kind of swing it back behind you, and then you're gonna throw out. Remember, just think of it as you're opening up a clock. So throw this out and to the right, let this follow behind it, and then hold on to these 2 things just a second longer, and it'll open up that clock for you. All right, so loading one last time. Over my left shoulder with the strand that's closest to me, splitting the net, half of it over my right leg. Make sure all this line is evened out. It's not wrapped and tangled up on itself. There we go. Grab here, pointer and thumb. The rest with these 3 fingers. Load, give it some spin, and spin. That's how you throw a pancake every time. So this right here is the bait we're looking for, okay? This is your greenback, nice plump one, okay? Everything inshore will eat that. Snook, trout, redfish, tarpon. You can go offshore, cobia, grouper, snapper will eat the smaller ones. These are baits that are kind of intermixed along with them. They're not thread fins, but they're kind of fragile like thread fins. You can use them for chummers, but not the best bait. So we got a blackout up here. And a blackout back here. So I caught all the bait we needed for Pat and Ben and decided to just throw some of the extras on a dock. And looky what I found. The grouper are back in the bay. So I had some of those bigger greenbacks and decided to throw it around the dock, and I threw in the first time and got destroyed, and he went right into the dock and I couldn't get him out. He popped my line before I even knew what happened. I thought it was a big snook. So I retied, took my whole leader, retied, and threw back in, and it's grouper time. So I mean, we were getting pumped. Grouper opened June 1st, and we're excited to get on some grouper and kind of bring some more diversity to the channel. But man, that's a good one to start out with. First one of the year. So these things, I don't know if you've ever caught them before, but they are mean as all get out. And the first 5-6 seconds of a grouper fight is like nothing else. So we'll get this one back in the water.